From the high-angle vantage point of the New York-New Jersey Stadium, tens of thousands of fans move in a slow, synchronized rowing motion that ripples across the stands like a single, unified wave. The motion is driven by a heavy, deliberate drumbeat. On every strike, the crowd unleashes a guttural, collective shout, "Rah!" This animated cross-section shows the physical reality of that much human mass oscillating in perfect rhythm. When the localized mass matches the grandstand's resonant frequency, the concrete begins to sway. On the ground, fans reported the entire stadium structure literally shaking under the strain. This synchronized display of physical force turned the crowd into a singular, earth-shaking entity, creating the most intense atmosphere of the tournament. Every major World Cup eventually produces a defining, viral fan tradition. In 2010, the vuvuzela dominated the soundscape of South Africa. In 2016, the Icelandic thunderclap became the visual signature of the Euros. As the 2026 North American tournament began, global audiences were waiting to see which new cultural export would capture this generation's games. Norway arrived with nearly 3 decades of pent-up energy. This was their first appearance at a World Cup since 1998. Leaving a generation of supporters eager to leave a mark on the global stage. They didn't just end a multi-decade drought by bringing a football team. They brought a cultural phenomenon built to claim the spotlight. The chant began in late 2025 as a pitch by a single fan named Oli Frøystad. He presented the idea to Oljeberget, the national supporter club, just months before the tournament. It had a soft launch during a friendly match against Switzerland in March, slowly building momentum before the team traveled to the States. The physical motion of the chant forces thousands of people to mimic the collective mechanics of rowing a Viking longship. It's a rhythmic, strenuous pull that echoes the way these massive vessels were once powered through the water. The chant also tied into the 1994 anthem, Alt for Norge, connecting the new display to the last time Norwegian football felt this relevant on the world stage. The Viking Row succeeded because it felt less like a new gimmick and more like an old piece of cultural DNA being reawakened. The rapid spread of the chant tracked alongside Norway's success on the pitch, following critical victories against Senegal and Ivory Coast. The team's biggest stars soon adopted the movement. Leaders like Martin Odegaard and Erling Haaland were seen leading the row directly from the pitch after matches, mirroring the passion in the stands. As the row went viral, it breached the stadium walls. Fans were filmed performing the synchronized motion on public transit escalators in Boston and New York. In Times Square, hundreds of Norwegian fans sat in the middle of the pavement to row in unison, hijacking one of the most recognizable public spaces in America during a summer solstice event. The chant mutated from a stadium ritual into a viral flash mob that claimed international territory for the Norwegian fanbase. The ripple effect reached all the way back to Norway, where the rowing motion spread through kindergartens, retirement homes, and hospitals. It even infiltrated the Storting, the Norwegian parliament. Members of the government were recorded collectively rowing in their business suits from within the legislative chamber. The royal family provided their own endorsement when Crown Prince Haakon and Prince Sverre Magnus posted a video of themselves rowing the replica Michael Boost ship. Perhaps the most extreme participation came from the military, with a Royal Norwegian Air Force pilot performing the rowing motion from the cockpit of an F-35 fighter jet mid-flight. By penetrating schools, the government, and the military, the Viking Row became a unified performance of national identity. On July 1, 2026, the stakes were at their highest as Norway prepared to face 5-time champion Brazil in the round of 16. In Oslo, over 15,000 people gathered on Karl Johan Street to perform the chant simultaneously. The collective impact of 15,000 people hitting the ground in perfect unison was so heavy it registered as literal earthquakes in both Oslo and Bergen. This was the peak of the phenomenon, a synchronized effort so massive it literally manipulated the Earth's crust. The Viking Row demonstrates how a coordinated fanbase can become a physical extension of their country's presence at a global event. By leveraging these specific cultural motifs, a single supporter's idea provided a unified vocabulary for an entire nation to participate in the tournament together. Regardless of the results on the pitch, Norway created the defining, unforgettable image of the 2026 World Cup.